Hey everyone, this is Steve Good, and welcome to our next episode of the Coin Chat. Welcome back, Yuri Cataldo.
Hi, Steve.
Oh, you are there. Okay, great.
I am here.
You never know. And today's special guest, Jonathan Chang, from the CEO from an ICO called Nauticus from way down under in Australia. So, Jonathan, welcome to the podcast today.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Yuri. How are we?
Very good, thank you.
We're doing great. How's the weather down under?
Oh, look, just the usual. Melbourne. Cold during the morning, summer during lunchtime, springtime in the afternoon, and cold again at night. So, four seasons city, right? Like they say.
Oh yeah.
And
riding kangaroos to
no
work.
kangaroos popping by.
Yeah. No.
Wombats.
Actually, you see them a bit more often at nighttime. Driving home from work, I live about 45 minutes away because you know how Melbourne is. It's actually expanding city. It goes outwards.
Right.
So I live about 45 minutes away. Quite dangerous actually. I fall asleep half the time because I leave work at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. quite often.
Oh wow.
The life of the ICO, isn't it?
I'm telling you. I mean, look, it's a bit of a perfectionist problem as well. I mean, that's how it is, right? You got 100 tasks to do with only 30 hours worth of work with 24 hours to do it, and it's constantly building up. So it's about when you can say to yourself, I'm satisfied with where I am right now, and I'm ready to go take a rest, which never really happens.
So of course now we have to ask you. So Jonathan, are you satisfied?
Look, it's objective, right? It's objective. Everyone says it's good enough at some point. I personally, and most of our executive team, we're never satisfied, right? We're hungry for more. We're hungry to improve. We're hungry to deliver the best we can to the customers, to our users, and to develop the future of this industry as a whole, not just for Nauticus, but for everyone that's involved. So never satisfied, always hungry for more.
Great. And we have to ask. So Yuri hasn't asked me the question yet, and he's going to soon. But have you tried spending Bitcoin anywhere before?
Yes, I have. In fact, Melbourne is actually not that many places who have Bitcoin accepted at the moment. However, we do have a couple of. I think we have a kebab shop that accepts it, and we have the Brisbane airport that accepts it as well. So
we covered that in our channel in a previous episode about the fact that Brisbane announced their. So have you actually been to Brisbane Airport and seen it in action?
Well, not since they launched it. I haven't had time to travel around that much for recreational reasons. But yeah, it's quite interesting because it's really putting Australia at the forefront of this whole entire revolution, isn't it? The commercial itself was, approved by the Brisbane government or Australian government ad,
right?
And so when they did the ad for the airport, so that was quite amazing having that kind of a change in terms of interaction methods and how payments are processed over there. So it's quite good. I think Australia and our friends over in New Zealand were a bit of a competition at the moment, having a race, see who can adopt this technology the fastest. And it's great to see. I mean, they're very supportive. Both countries, both sides are very supportive, as well as obviously a lot of other countries in the world.
Yeah.
So how active is trading for crypto, in the Australia, New Zealand region? Is there a lot of hype and excitement about crypto generally? Or
it's taking time to grow to that level. I think I would say we're probably 12 months behind, I think, from where the rest of the world was in terms of the information of cryptocurrencies. I would say that much like some other countries such as Taiwan or I can't think of another one at the moment, but we're definitely a couple of 12 months behind in the sense that it's really now that we're really catching on to what's going on here and people are starting to educate themselves on it. I think partially as well as just the culture. I mean, we're a bit more conservative here. We're a bit more careful with what we do. So we make sure everything we decide on is regulated first. And even individuals.
Which sounds something similar to my living in the UK and finding the same kind of thing there. That there's
exactly
there's a crossover in the cultures. I mean, we've got a lot of Australians and New Zealanders in the UK and London as well, and the cultural connect seems to align very well as well. But I do see in the UK we're just behind. We're slow. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Things are happening.
I think
more happening in Poland.
100%, and I think it just has to do with lifestyle as well. I mean, Aussies here, we just really want to lay back kind of relaxing life in Australia as a culture. I think everyone here works hard, but as they also know how to enjoy life. Kicking back, grab a beer. It's very important to us. There's coffee shops as well, right? The brunches in Melbourne are very famous. I think it's a really, really great place to be because of that.
Yeah. Jonathan, how long have you been in Australia?
Altogether, Australia?
Yeah.
I don't know, 11 years, 12 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Why did you choose to move to Australia?
Look, I think going back all the way to my youth, second generation pretty much. Well, I guess you can say first generation. Parents moved over. They wanted me to be bilingual though. That's why I can actually give you an year figure because I traveled a bit back and forth between Taiwan and Australia so that I could become bilingual, fluently speaking and writing and reading in both languages, Mandarin and English, which turned out to be a great advantage. I mean, myself, background-wise, family background-wise, is definitely from Taiwan. Mm-hmm. And not until, the older you get, the more wise you get, and you realize, oh, right, okay, the languages were very important to learn, whereas when you're a kid, you don't care. And so now I'm really putting the active effort into learning more languages, picking up the local Taiwanese language, which I refused to learn before, picking up Japanese, trying to learn, very tourist level, don't try to test me on it, but I think it's quite important. Yeah.
Well, that's great. So before we get too deep, Steve, I have to ask, have you tried to spend any Bitcoin this week?
Well, I did try spending some Bitcoin at a TGA Fridays at an airport.
Good news. How was it?
I made a good go of it, and my wife made note of the response because I was more listening to him tell me, and I sometimes forget what people say after the fact because I'm more caught up in the moment. And he said he had heard about it and said, and I have to I'm sorry, I'm quoting TGI Friday staff on this. The company's way behind on this, and maybe in a few years we'll get around to becoming more mainstream.
Yes.
So clearly, the employees in TGI Fridays do not think that you guys are mainstream. So get with the program and get some Bitcoin, please.
Right. Look, we got to show them. We got to show them how it works. We gotta prove it, isn't it? Look, what we got to do is we got to get some mainstream celebrities just to chat about it, gossip about it a bit, right? And then from there, it would really start.
I have a whole thing about that in ICO scams.
Steve has strong opinions about celebrities in ICO.
The last thing I want is, no disrespect, but Paris Hilton going around telling everybody that she's using Bitcoin because it has this negative impact on ICOs when they get celebrities involved, and oftentimes, in fact, the SEC even issued a warning that ICOs that are involved with celebrities should probably not be doing the ICO.
Yeah, the Floyd Mayweather and Steven Seagal ICO is under a lot of problems in New Jersey because of that. And now they're going to be in trouble.
That's like the battle there. It's like Floyd Mayweather versus wow, this is going to be a really good one. I can't wait to see it in action.
I would watch that. That's
right.
Floyd
Mayweather, you just have to be exactly. I mean, you just have to be very clear. I mean, we're very transparent. We're very clear about what we're doing, about the terminology we use. We're very clear about those who ask us questions, and we make sure we don't say the wrong thing. We don't want to give any misdirections, and I think that's very important. And whoever you find, doesn't matter who you find. What I mentioned there was more just getting more people involved so that it's more of a public involvement. But whoever you get involved as an ICO, you just got to make sure it's very clear from day one. You share the same vision. You know where you're going. It's a journey that you go on together, and that's very important. It's a team environment at the end of the day. It's
look, I think if you're talking about something like, let's say it's the fashion industry, and you had a famous person like Donna Karan who's, got a big company, and she said, I completely see how we need to transform our business, and she gathered a bunch of, other leaders in the fashion industry or other companies together, and they were to collaboratively say, we're going to do something to transform our industry using Ethereum or Bitcoin or something, that would have more, at least personally for me, would have more meaning than just 100%. One celebrity saying, So I am winding you up a little bit here.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. That's exactly what I mean as well.
You've got the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, which of course is a lot of banks and some other companies as well that are all collaborating together for the purposes of trying to define and make smart contracts actually workable and usable globally, which is great.
That's right.
But then you have
And that's
Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan saying, blah, 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 Bitcoin's all a big fraud. And of course, and retracting it and telling people no one does anything with crypto. And then, of course, you look on the Ethereum website and the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance website, and you find that JP Morgan's logo is on there. So
yeah, I mean, it's very ironic. That was definitely look, questionable things happened there. We all know, so we won't go into depth with that.
Right.
But I understand exactly what you mean, and you're 100% right. You know, it's all about coming together and making it more usable. Not to say to only focus on, and that's kind of what Nauticus is all about as well. As we obviously dive deep into what we're doing, it's all about not just saying use cases, that, but actually making it publicly usable. So it doesn't have to be a revolutionizing idea or technology, but more how can you get people onto it first? Because it doesn't matter how great the idea is. If people are not using it, then they're not using it. Like TiVo was a great idea, but people didn't understand it, people didn't get it, and it didn't really kick off as fast as Apple did.
Right.
So just before we jump into Nauticus itself, tell us when did you get involved with crypto, and how did you end up deciding to get into Nauticus? What's your backstory on crypto?
Look, I think it started many, many years ago. Me and Brian, we're actually been great friends for many years, and we've always, like over time, obviously during a friendship, we found something about each other that really stuck us together was the shared vision, what we cared about in life in general. This is before go crypto, right? What we cared about in life, what we wanted to achieve. And what we really wanted was to make sure that we can give back to communities and help out, make change to the world. And what we mean by that is this. Give you an example, which I told on other podcasts as well. We're both involved in community work. And Brian himself, for example, that's very easily to compare, is he's been doing sponsorship for kids since he was in his early 20s, like he's still in university. And so for so many years, over 20 years now, he's been doing it. What he found, and what I find as well, is the powerlessness, right? It doesn't matter how much income you end up earning. You can be $1 million earner a year. You can only donate so much. Donating doesn't really solve the problem, is what we found. We're more of a hands-on type of people. And with donating as well, these charities, nothing wrong about them. They're doing a great job, but most of the money ends up going to marketing, right? And that's something we feel quite, the powerlessness was quite concerning because, $10 go out, only $1 gets to the people who actually need it. Personally, I'd much rather be over there building the schools hands-on. Doing something hands-on. I can feel the impact. I can actually be part of it and actually identify issues right away. We're very managerial and strategic in that sense too. So you can see kind of how our business and our personal preferences come in line here. And now we've always been chatting. And therefore we was always connected because of this reason. And obviously with numerous other issues in the world, human trafficking, et cetera, et cetera. So going from there, about 2 years ago, we were having this conversation one day, just having a casual catch-up. And we started talking about blockchain and Bitcoin and all these technologies involved in decentralized systems. And unbeknownst to ourselves, we were both already understood the technology. We thought we were bringing up a topic, but it turns out we both already knew about it, roughly. And as we continued to look into it and continued to talk about it, we started realizing that we were both already involved, and we both agreed on how much impact the decentralized technology, not just blockchain, not just Bitcoin, but the entire theory and concept of it can bring to the world, just from an overall high-level standpoint. And so from there, we came together and thought, what can we do? Let's take something and make it better. Let's help others and bring this industry forward so the whole world may come together, so that in the future, it's not one person pushing for donations or pushing for change or revolutionizing, but everyone coming together, much like Martin Luther King, right? He didn't himself push for a change. Other people came together and followed a great leader and pushed for change. Not everything.
That's right. Yeah, he was a catalyst for sure, but you're right. I mean, it took a catalyst to create a movement. The movement was already there.
That's right. And that's what we want as well. We believe in leading by example, creating change ourselves, and innovating other people, and hope that from there others may follow and become proactive in this space, not just from blockchain decentralized technology, but from hands-on impactful relationships with the world.
Very cool.
And so from there, that was 2 years ago, and from there about over 12 months ago now, so over a year now, we've been planning since 2 years ago, since that conversation, And over a year ago, we decided to both go into this full time and have full commitment into this and develop what we believe is something that the future can see, that we believe is the future of the technology, and working together with the community, with other projects, with innovative ideas and leaders out there to push this idea forward.
And where did you guys come up with the name Nauticus? Does it mean something to you guys personally? Or?
Look, great question, Steve. Everyone asks that, and if they go, "Oh, great name, great. How did you come up with it? It must mean something." The truth is, it was just two guys sitting in an office. We chatted for a long time. We wanted something that can encompass a world vision, something that we can kind of get the people together, and when people hear it, they can see something that has influence and power, but at the same time, they can see something that encompasses and all-rounded, like a togetherness.
Right.
Something that just says, world, probably sounds a bit weird. Global sounds a bit lame. So we just kind of dive down, and we just started talking about the ocean and how it's, ongoing and how it's all connected with everyone.
So there's no seafaring guys in the company. You guys didn't come from like the Navy or something.
No, nothing like that. No. Although I do enjoy swimming. I've actually been an avid swimmer since very young. I think it's a prerequisite. Growing up, I was in the Gold Coast, and I think it's a prerequisite being in the Gold Coast that you need to know how to swim, in my opinion, at that time, right? And it kind of just carried on with me. So I was quite into swimming for a long time. Even in high school, I was my high school's swimming representative as well. So that's kind of, maybe that's the closest.
So there's a hidden agenda going on here with Jonathan Chang on our channel, Gary. I don't know where this is taking us, but we're heading down the stream somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, we brought up the conversation of the name, so that's the closest we could come up with.
Yeah, absolutely.
The ocean and Nauticus.
Did you win any awards when you were swimming as a child, or in school or anything?
Yes. But nothing that I would say it's good enough to go competitively, I would say.
Nothing that you want to share with the users on the channel today?
Yeah.
Our subscribers would love to know about all these great awards you've won from swimming, and now you're getting shy on us.
That's right.
No. I'm not at the level of what you see in the movies where you go through that model child's home and you see a trophy cabinet with all the. No, I'm not at that level.
You just have ribbons.
Mainly ribbons and participation awards. Look, there's two ways you can see this, my friend.
File cabinet in your mother's house, huh? She just has to open up the drawer and go, "Oh, come, darling, come and open up the drawers, and let's just show all the nice little pieces of paper, Jonathan."
Yeah, look, that's right. There's two ways you can see this. I mean, look, at a certain level, in the school or in the state, maybe I'm at a certain level, but gets to a point where you get to states and national level. There's no way. There's just people out there that's just absolute maniacs and train 5 days a week. I don't do that. I used to just swim, 2 hours every week, in a squad. So once a week, on the weekend, I'll do a 2-3 hour swim, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
So I wasn't at the level of 1 day a week, 6 hours a day kind of squad training. Nah, no way. That's those guys are a different level.
Yeah. So you were just
Australia's famous for swimming.
You guys are. So you were just basically in the fast lane in your class.
Pretty much. I was enough to.
And he stayed in the fast lane, Yuri, because now he's taking us on this extraordinary journey in crypto, which never sleeps.
That's right. Oh, look, it's constant. I mean, I think in life it's all about challenges and looking for new challenges to push yourself forward. You can't ever stop. It's just the same concept of retirement. If you're 80 years old and you retire, it's really important to keep yourself busy. You hear a lot of that from different examples from the people we know, grandparents, parents, and it's all about keeping yourself busy, making sure that you never stop. You're always thinking, and you're always looking for ways to improve yourself.
That's for sure. Mm-hmm. So tell us about Nauticus, not the sea-bearing ICO, but the actual real Nauticus ICO, the one that's taking us on a journey through space and time, or across universes, or actually just doing an exchange. So tell us about your platform.
Sounds good. So, look, I'll simplify it real quick. Nauticus essentially has six solutions that encompasses banking, payments, e-commerce, merchant payments platform, and digital identity, with the prime focus of the current ICO as a Fiat and cryptocurrency exchange. Now, this is the foundation of our whole entire ecosystem, and it's the most important part. We've designed it at a quality that can sustain our growth. So to kind of explain to you why we came about this, what is this industry lacking? Quite simply, we are lacking offerings and pairings of fiats that can allow everyday users to get on board. And we feel that that's very important.
Absolutely.
The industry right now is all about educating the public. It's all about seminars, all about lectures. And I mean, you can't be grabbing people and teaching them this and making them like, you gotta come, you gotta become part of the block. That's not how it works, right? It's great. Nothing to say anything wrong with it. It's great. Keep it up. But I think it's also important to provide a better alternative to the existing lifestyle so that those who have a way of life already can over time incorporate and learn about this industry. That is the best way to go. Much like how Uber did it, much like how Netflix did it, eBay, iPhones, those are all great examples of how it just over time took over a person's habits. And that's very important. So I think that's what's interesting in this
absolutely.
industry.
What you're describing is the loyalty factor, where people went from first awareness of the product all the way through to using the product and then becoming brand ambassadors effectively.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The brand takes over their lives.
Exactly. And the different part is that we don't mind if you are part of the Nauticus brand or not. We'd love you to be with us. We'd love you to be part of our family is what we call it. As long as you're part of the community, you're part of the family. But as long as you are involved and influenced enough so that you can be part of the industry, we are happy already. We want to provide a platform so that those who know can use it efficiently, those who do not can start to learn, and those who are naysayers will over time be incorporating and influenced into it. Because there's still people out there that hide cash under their bed and don't use a Visa card. That's fine. There's always going to be someone out there like that. But over time, we're hoping that can incorporate. Now, second part is real use cases for everyday life, real adoption. And that kind of incorporates the same thing. What we're doing here is a fiat and cryptocurrency exchange supporting 100 fiat currencies and over six fiat currencies, 100 cryptos and 6 fiats. As of this week, I think, or last week, we just announced Chinese yuan as our 7th fiat currency that we're going to be incorporating.
Oh, wow.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's right.
So does that mean that people are able to actually withdraw to their local banks in these various countries where the currencies reside?
Yes, we are able to do wire money transfers if that's required, but those will be subjected to change based on regulations and restrictions, et cetera, as you know. But that is what's on the plates at the moment. Now,
so you've got trading that'll be between like Bitcoin and other coins and Ether, other coins, as well as moving money between Bitcoin and, let's say, Australian dollar or British pound or Chinese, etc. So you're creating kind of a multi-market point of view. So it's trading within the coin market or trading between coin and fiat.
That's exactly right. We want to make sure that.
What about the fiat to fiat, like a USD Australian trade pair? Perfect. Is that also part of the platform?
So I'm about to get to that as well. So a couple of things. Let me break it a step back for you jumped ahead there. Very good. It means that you're very switched on, Steve. So a couple of things.
Yuri's paying me to be switched on today.
That's right. Yuri just nods his head, and Steve talks about TGI Fridays, right?
Well, I'm trying to spend that Ether that Yuri just paid me for being switched on at TGI Fridays, but they won't accept it.
What happened, Yuri? You didn't pay me the Ether either. I'm waiting for the payment first. I need to go to TGI Fridays too.
Right. So look, keep looking in the mail. It's in the mail.
Okay,
it's in the mail. Yeah, the coin is in the mail.
Wait for the memo. The memo's coming next week. All right.
Yeah, you get the yellow copy.
Yeah. All right, so back to it. Basically, a couple points you point out there, Yuri. I'm sorry, Steve. Very good points. Number one, that is why you made a very good point regarding crypto to fiat. Yes, that is why it's so important for the contribution to our Nauticus coin right now, because the Nauticus coin will be the main denomination, the main currency for conversion between the fiats and the cryptos as a core function. The other cryptos, depending on how the implementation goes, depending on how listing goes, because we're open to listing as well. We allow innovative projects to join in on our early bird listing period through our selection criteria, and depending on what they would like for their project to see as well, we can incorporate different pairings. But we can definitely guarantee that all the fiats will be going through our Nauticus coin. Now, as that function, the reason this is so important, because the next point, which is what you made already, Steve, we are a crypto and fiat exchange. However, this, back to what we were saying before with user cases, is that it currently is based on speculative and traders. That's what we will want. This will not propel the industry. People who are traders and who are on exchanges looking at charts and order books and demand and supply and trends and etc. and technical analysis. However, we want to encompass users who just want to have a lifestyle. And that is why we've already registered with the Australian Austrac as an independent remittance provider. What it means is that we're going to have our fiat currencies as well. We're going to be able to do remittance services as well as over time payment processing. And what that means is everyday users will have our phone app. They can travel to any country in the world, anywhere in the world, or in any currency they want, even locally in Australia, let's say, or locally in America. They can pay in any currency and people can receive in any currency they want. The transaction will be processed underpinned by the foundation, which is the Nauticus Exchange, the engine that runs in the background.
Okay,
as
cool.
As this payment processes, a $4 coffee, it doesn't matter what you pay with, by the way. Your phone can be on USD, your phone can be on Bitcoins or Nauticus coins. As you make that payment, it's processed and your order gets placed on the order book on the exchange. Every user, it doesn't matter if you're a complicated trader or if you're a simple everyday life coffee purchaser, you'll be participating in the liquidity and the low cost of our exchange. Your exchange rate will be based on live market prices, a market that we have set aside for you. No longer will you have to suffer from bank fees and bank margins of exchange rate. As you know, Australian dollar to the American dollar could be $1 to 80 cents, right? Whereas the banks will give you 84 cents and 76 cents or 82 cents and 78 cents. In your case, you would get it exactly what the market rate is with the transaction fee for Nauticus. And that's how the process works. Simple, easy for different types of users out there. And as we incorporate our e-commerce platform and as I incorporate our merchant payments platform for businesses, governments, and institutions, from small businesses to large as well, and as we incorporate our digital identity, this will all be important for the foundation of our engine, which is the exchange.
Mm-hmm. So it's an ambitious, it does. It's an ambitious plan. So I wonder, how much of this have you got running now, and what kind of over what time frame do you anticipate that you'll have, some of the core functions and features so that users can start to benefit from using it?
Mm-hmm. What I am allowed to say at this stage is our demo. We've just sent out a newsletter as of 6 hours ago for a sneak peek of our demo in our newsletter to all our registered users. Mm-hmm. The demo should be up from my viewpoint, I would say another 24 hours. It could be up and running for users to transact. The exchange is 100% the full focus of where we're going at the moment. Okay.
So if people want to see the demo, they need to be, is it whitelisted with you first?
That's correct. So registered users on our platform, which you can see already 330,000 registered users.
So you may as well shamelessly plug your URL right about now and let people know where they can find out how to get the access to the demo.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So it's nauticus.io/sign up or sign in, nauticus.io/sign in. So you can check out our website. We have our Telegram group as well and Facebook. So Telegram is a great place to chat with our community, by the way. I'm often on there at least once every 2 days, just kind of reply all the questions, more technical questions that people may have. We also have our Bitcoin talk and all the other mediums you can find at our website.
Fantastic. So this is great, Jonathan. There's a lot of really interesting information you're sharing with us. Is there anything else about the platform that are, let's say, some of the other unique selling propositions or unique things that make you stand out from other exchanges like a Binance or KuCoin? Because naturally, I think what people often look at is, okay, it's just another exchange, and obviously everybody who launches another project doesn't want to be seen as just another something. Everyone wants to have their own unique set of features, and clearly you've articulated some of those. But are there any other features that our users might want to know about in terms of what else does the platform do or offer that is a really compelling reason to jump into the water, shall we say?
Of course.
The Nauticus water.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I guess the most important part for people to know in the immediate 6 to 12 months is that the exchange will encompass the platform, which is the Nauticus ecosystem. This is underpinned by the Nauticus coin, which is the transaction method for all the platforms guaranteed, with other coins and tokens potentially being there, but definitely going to be Nauticus. Depending on how the ecosystem grows, it may just be only Nauticus coin for all the different platforms interacting with each other. Now, the immediate features you can see the 6 to 12 months is quite simple. The exchange will be aimed at user friendliness. We'll still involve the technical aspects for those who want to see all the charts and all those graphs and analytics. However, we want to make sure it's user friendly for everyday users. People who want to get involved on the platform and deposit, make their first purchase in fiat currencies, they will be able to do that seamlessly. Over time, they will be able to make payments to friends and family as well, paying your children, pocket money, etc., etc. Becoming essentially thinking about PayPal, thinking about Western Union, thinking about WeChat, the phone app where you can pay in China every day, everywhere you go. But think of those together and as a global system as well. So that's kind of what you'll be looking at, encompassing growing over the next 6 to 12 months, with the bigger payment processing side in the longer term. Immediately, you'll see as well, we have the analytics page on the exchange, which will be able to share with users information that are not just traditional technical analysis and gainers and losers and different types of coins. However, it also shows everyday news that you might want to know, trending topics on Twitter, trending news, upcoming calendars and events, the key search words and the comparison with that. Comparing between different coins that you can choose yourself as well. I want to make it very user-friendly, very dynamic for everyone to get involved. And lastly, this same platform will have the features of e-commerce and chatting, community chat, which we're going to be building into as well, and as well as the merchant platform over time. The important part to be aware as well, to support liquidity, we're going to be getting in touch with our own mining center, which will serve as a data center too. This will be benefiting the users on the platform by having a more liquid and sustainable system that will be built upon using this data processing center.
Okay, interesting. So is your coin going to be a mineable coin as well?
The coin itself will start off as an ERC20 token, so on the blockchain. Okay. That's correct.
But not proof of work or proof of stake, or will there be also the ability to stake the coin, for example?
Over time, we will incorporate that. We want to create. We do. If you look on the white paper, we don't promote this too much because it's such a long way down on the roadmap. We don't think it's is necessary. But with the e-commerce, we're going to be incorporating ethical supply chain, empowering users to have the right to find out what the businesses are doing, and also giving back to businesses so that they'll be promoted for doing the right thing. So ethical supply chain will be incorporated, as well as its own transactional chain for our merchant platform. Mm-hmm. This currently we're very open to what kind of platform we're going to be using or what kind of a protocol we're going to be using, simply because, as you know, every month in the crypto space is a year in human years, basically. And things change, things grow, developments happen so fast. I'm sure in 12 months' time, who knows, maybe things will be completely different. Ripple might have taken off by then, or something might have happened. So
you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, there's just so much change taking place. I mean, one minute everyone says no to crypto, and the next minute the Rockefeller family is saying we're in crypto, and you're thinking, okay,
exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And so that's why we don't actively talk about it, because let's be honest, I can't lock it in. I mean, even if we are developing right now, a month later we might just tell you, hey, look, we're developing in a different strategy now, which is very likely to happen. So we're very open to. We already have a conceptual of how exactly we're going to be developing our chain. However, we've also looked at collaborating with other like-minded people and innovative leaders in this space to work together to create a better solution. However, like I said, that's down the roadmap, so nothing I can really, pin down at the moment.
Well, no, of course. I mean, you've got to follow the roadmap and stick to your guidelines, which is great. I really, exactly. I really appreciate your just coming on the channel. I mean, Yuri and I, of course, are not in any way invested or involved in the platform, but we really appreciate your taking the time to join us, Jonathan, and
yeah, of course.
Or Johnny, as you say. Some people like to call you occasionally.
Yeah, Johnny. I think Johnny. Yeah, sorry, you go.
No, well, I had the last name Good, so I'm lucky that my name was not Johnny B.
Or middle name.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it's great. I really I love the enthusiasm. I think what you're doing is exciting, and I do really wish you all the best on the Nauticus. The ICO is running now. correct?
Correct. It is.
And
it ends on 18th of May. So do get involved ASAP. We have different promotions happening going forward. We have 4 methods for users to get involved on top of just purchasing the ICO coins. So number 1, we have 5% for purchasing, with bulk purchases adding up another 5% for you guys. Secondly, signing up, you get 100 free coins on your platform, on your dashboard immediately. Referring your friends and they making a minimum purchase, showing that they're a real user, also rewards you and your friend 100 coins. Next as well, we have survey out there to gauge user interest and find out what they want. With the 300,000 registered users, we have 80,000 responses on the survey within a week and a half, which really shows the activity that we have, which is great, and it really helps us improve the platform. Now, and last but not least, with ongoing bounty programs as well, so you can join in on bounty programs to get involved and help out the community.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
Well, that's really good. You wanted to ask any other questions before we wrap up today?
Well, I was going to ask him where is the best place for the listeners to go to find more information? Like, do you prefer Telegram? Are you more active on Facebook or Twitter? Or what's the best place for our listeners to go?
Very good question. We have a huge team that's supporting all the platforms. I would say easiest way for everyone, for quick snapshot news, Twitter, 100% Twitter. So which is not at Nauticus EN. Telegram, if you want to have a live chat with us, please do come join our Telegram as well, which is at Nauticus Blockchain. And lastly, if you want informative articles and educational material, our Medium, medium.com/Nauticus-blockchain, or at Nauticus Blockchain is also another way you can type it, which has our in-house journalism and analytics and researchers who continuously pump out quality content from a variety of topics. One article we recently made, which has shown incredible feedback, is a topic on a question of why there are so little female demographic in the blockchain space, coming from a very objective point of view as well. A lot of people right away said, "Oh, I thought it was going to be a anti-male kind of article," but actually it turns out to be a very educational and objective kind of article discussing how this industry is growing and what's wrong with it and how we can improve as a community. So if you want informative news, Medium website would be definitely a great place to look at as well.
That's great. Thank you. And so just briefly, so the quick version, how do we improve and get more women in crypto?
I would leave it for everyone to read on the blog. Probably easier. For me to memorize the whole thing, I tell you, we have so many articles going out. I would definitely say this space started off as a very techie space, and it's always felt very like a royal club. You know how I mean? Like where everyone is just kind of in that huddle. You're either in or you're out. If you're in, you're cool. If you're not, it's kind of like a little club we have, and I think that's kind of one part. And the fact that it kind of started off being a very techie space already kind of makes it a very male-dominant space. So I think over time, as we kind of incorporate how, having those female leaders in the industry, female tech innovators in the industry, we share a lot, by the way, we'll actually start growing this space, and even being a bit more transparent, being more inclusive when talking on these communities. I think, as you know, with this industry, right, the funniest part that I always laugh about is the fact that it's a negative, but at the same time, I find it very hilarious is every second word you say, you have the comment scam. The word scam just comes up. Must be a scam, must be a fraud. Like Jonathan, what? I thought Jonathan was right-handed. Turns out he's left-handed. What? Is left-handed? Must be a scam. And then just right away, like everything can be, right? That's how the space is. And I think the fact that, look, we have a strong heart, strong mind, so we can take it. We find it, we kind of laugh it off. But the fact that our space currently is not as inclusive as it could be, it's a lot about who's smarter, who's not, and who's better at this, who's not in the Facebook groups, etc. May have reasons behind it in terms of how this space is growing as well and being more inclusive. So I think that's a couple of points I could point out there.
Well, that's great. And so I do have to ask though, do you have any women on your team?
Yes, we do. We, in fact, most of our achievers are actually female. We have a very good split. I would say probably 50-50 or 40-60. It really depends. Since we're a growing company, it really depends who's the best candidate at the time. We just pick out whoever we can. But most of our kind of leadership roles in-house leadership roles fall into females as well.
That's wonderful.
Fantastic.
Leading by
Yeah,
example,
well,
I like it.
It's very so actually our last podcast had a female leader in crypto as well. So it's good to see from my perspective. It's great to see more women jumping in because I think crypto in particular, I've noticed it's extremely male dominated, unlike other parts of IT. This is probably the most male dominated I've seen in a long while. So I think what you guys are trying to do is great. It's just something that
And look, it's a tough thing as well. I mean, like I'm very open to phone calls, being on social media, being on videos, etc., because that's kind of my role, whether I like it or not. But especially with a lot of our team, and unfortunately when we talk about the females on the team as well, some people don't really want to show face. They're not really camera ready, which is fine. But otherwise, we would love to put a lot more of them on the website to kind of showcase them a bit more. Whereas what you see on the website doesn't actually encompass the rest of the team that we have, and the female tech people as well. We would love to get more different opinions. Is very important, I think, in any company. And Jack Ma said it best, right? Jack Ma from Alibaba said it best. We think differently, right? Different cultures, different religions, different race, different genders are all very important. Being very inclusive is core to the success of any business. And if you look at our team, you can definitely see that we try to encompass as many different genres, different countries, different nationalities as possible.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, Jonathan, thank you very much. And to all our listeners, anytime. Thank you for participating and listening again. It's always great to have you here on the channel. Stay tuned next week where we cover off another exciting episode of the Coin Chat. To the moon. Until next week.